Hi, your favorite fabulous fairy Shayna here, and today we're going to do something a little different. I have the burn coming up in like a week and a half, and I was thinking about it. There are probably people who are going to the burn for the very first time, and they want to know what they're getting into. I was lucky to have a friend who's gone like 9 times in a row, and so she was able to really let me know what I needed to know so that I felt like I was prepared when I went. And I just want you guys to have that same feeling. So we're going to go over things that I wish I knew, or things that you're going to wish you knew if you're going to the burn for the first time. You're gonna get so dirty. If you're lucky and the weather is permissible, they're gonna have you roll in the dirt as soon as you freaking get there. So if you're somebody who doesn't like to get dirty, you're not gonna necessarily love this. But I will say the dirt isn't like normal dirt. It doesn't feel gritty, it doesn't feel sandy. It's so alkaline and fine that it feels more like you have baby powder on you. So it's not feeling suffocating like you might think. It is, however, alkaline dust, so it can hurt you. So people are like, you know, if you're really sensitive skin, you may have more of a problem. I kind of find it therapeutic. The only time I've ever had problems was a little bit on my feet after I had turned to mud when I was there, when it was like the super bad, well, the second super bad mud year. It's fun to work shifts. You might be thinking, I'm on vacation. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. But no, it's fun to work shifts. So especially if you're working for a theme camp, they're going to ask you to do some work. It's encouraged that you participate. Not everybody is handy. You might not be good at building stuff, but maybe you got great people skills, or maybe you're good at cooking, or maybe you're great at cleaning, maybe you're a decorator, maybe you're great at lighting. Whatever your skill task is, there's going to be a job for you, and there's also other jobs once you get going. So like I work at a camp where we have a bar, so you have to either be like bar service, or you're hospitality, or you're the doorman, and everybody works a different shift doing that. And you might think, man, I don't want to, but I'm telling you, it's so much fun. You get to meet so many people, and it's kind of cool having a job when you're out there, because you kind of get to feel like you're important, like you're doing your little part. Participation is not only just immediate, it's encouraged. So if you see something you want to do, they encourage you to just go for it. Not to worry about it, not worry about what you look like, not worry if you're good at it, just go participate. Go see what it's like. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to stay. There's a million things for you to go do, but it's important that if you know, hey, that looks like fun, you just go get in line. You're not going to have to pay for it. Once you're there, everything's free. Is it expensive to go? Yeah, it's expensive to go. There's a joke that says, don't let somebody talk you out of your $600 Burning Man ticket. It'll be the best $1,000 you ever spent spending $5,000 to go have fun. And, you know, you can go as cheap and as rugged as you absolutely want, or you can go as luxury as you can. People don't really like what's called sparkle ponies, and the sparkle pony is going to be somebody who's showing up covered in glitter. I know. I actually don't wear glitter when I'm out there, and that literally kills my soul for a while, but I do it for my friends and for the playa. But the second I get to Reno, I'm like, covered in glitter. But anyway, sparkle ponies are the ones who show up dressed in the like the bot rave outfit, which nothing's wrong with buying a rave outfit, but like a bot rave outfit with the, you know, glitter everywhere, rhinestones everywhere. They paid so much for have their hair done, they've got their nails long, but none of that would matter if they would fucking participate, and if they'd put the damn phone down, and if they'd go do something for someone else, if they'd go do an act of kindness, or an act of service, or an act of charity, or clean something up, or help to decorate, or help to tear something down. But they don't. They don't. They're just there with their camera and like looking how cute they are. Don't fucking be a sparkle pony. Nobody likes them. I'm an influencer, and I only take my camera out one freaking day. And on that day, I make sure I don't tag nobody. I don't get nobody in the picture. I'm picturing me, maybe a few pieces of art, and that's it. 99% of the time, my phone is nowhere near me. That's the entire point. So if you're an influencer and you're going out there just to take a bunch of pictures, realize that's going to be frowned upon. You can do it, but it's going to be frowned upon. There's a lot of nudity and freedom of expression out there, and people would just rather not be filmed. And honestly, give yourself the break from the phone. That's what it's for. I mentioned some nudity. Feel free to be yourself. Feel free to let your freak flag fly. Now, if you're wondering, oh man, is there a lot of rape? Is there a lot of things that go on? No, there is not. I'm not going to say that the occasional mishap maybe doesn't happen. I don't know that information 100%, but what I've been there and what I've seen is people take consent 1,000% seriously. Consent is sexy. So no means no. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. And no means no. And within a radius of wherever you're at, if you were to say no, somebody's going to come over and help you. Somebody's going to come over and help you. Like, people are there for you there. They've got the rangers there that are all over, and that's who you talk to if you have a problem, and then they intermediate so you don't have to talk to the cops. But honestly, my first year I had an incident where somebody took a liberty with me, and I mean, I didn't get raped, luckily, but they were making eye contact while they were doing something interesting. Let's just say that. And I didn't like it. That person no longer is there, you know, and they had been there for 12 years. So they took it very seriously that I was offended, and my hope wasn't to get anybody kicked out or anything, but my fear was that maybe that person was going to do something worse to somebody who maybe couldn't handle it the way that I did. So just know that you are protected, that people are there for you, that you are safe to be nude, that people keep their eye level up here. Anything that's group participation naked, like a group car wash where you all get showered together or whatever, that goes through a long consent. We go through a consent talk, and we talk about where our eyes should be, and we talk about where our hands should be to ourselves and things like that. And everybody follows those rules because nobody wants to get kicked out. So everybody is very, very, and no matter what your body style, people are comfortable. Does that mean everybody's naked? No. Lots of people wear fancy costumes and whatever. There is the full spectrum, you know, but just know that whatever your level of comfort is, it will be respected, and you have the ability to be free in a way that you're not going to be free in any other city. Giving is everything. This is a gifting culture. So whether you can give your time, whether you can give words, maybe you give a massage, a hand massage, a back massage, maybe you have little trinkets or bracelets or glowy things, maybe you make some sort of food or tea or whatever, anything that you have, clothes, whatever you have to give, if you give that, that's what the culture is all about. That's how that city works. We all bring what we have to give. We all take care of ourselves, and then we bring a little bit extra for somebody else, and it makes the world go round. I saw somebody who showed up, and they had lost their luggage. They had lost their everything. They didn't have anything. They got a tent. They got a bed. They had food. They had party favors. They had freaking clothes. They had every experience that they could possibly want. They had it because this is a gifting community. What did they give? They gave us a great time. They gave us a great time. They gave us all laughter. They sang us songs from Ireland. They did a little jig for us. Like, it was amazing. We stay in an Irish pub, so it's like, to have a real Irish person just like doing the whole, I mean, I was so happy. I was so happy. If he had been dressed up in the leprechaun garb, I wouldn't have been more happy. And I can say that I'm part Irish, so y'all, I'll get my little jig on too. Hey, I'm a fairy. What did you think? Art is life. Okay, art imitates life, right? Well, at Burning Man, art is life. And my very first year, I was so lucky and so grateful and so thankful because I got to be the lead engineer on an art project for the Terror Tots Art Collective. And it was just amazing. It was a huge structure, and it was a walk-in living space that you could just interact with. There was all these little things to look through and see and find and feel and really play with. And we even caught a couple influencers doing little dances in front of our wavy parts of our thing, so I was over the moon for that. Pardon me on my eloquence, I'm keeping it in there. But art is life, so if you want to participate, if you want to bring art, if you want to do that, there are avenues you have to go through, because you can't just put anything on the playa, it will get blown, and anything that's blowing is a moving object is potential hazard for other people, so you do have to have certain regulations on how it's made or how it's constructed or how it's placed, and they do want to control a little bit like where it's getting placed, so you do have to go through them. But there are art grants. If you have some crazy idea for some crazy art project and you're like, man, I've got the talent, but I don't have the resources, maybe somebody will sponsor you. So don't let your dreams die just because maybe you're not financially able to do it. Put your art idea through there. Let's see if the grant program will help. Matter out of place. What is matter out of place? That is trash. That's anything that doesn't belong on the playa, anything that didn't originate on the playa. So basically, if it's not playa dirt, it doesn't belong there. There aren't a lot of animals on the lake bed, except for fairy shrimp and occasional birds, but there isn't a lot going on. You're not going to find a bunch of weeds or leaves or sticks or any of that kind of stuff. It's just the dirt as far as the eye can see. You kind of feel like you're on Mars. So nothing should be there but the dirt when we leave. That means you're not only taking care of your own trash, you're picking up anybody else's trash when you're out there too. And that's kind of a community service. You'll look around and notice that for the most part, the playa is clean. People do a really, really good job. I will say the people who come just for the burn, just for the Burning Man day, and they aren't there all week and they're not really joining the community like that, that's kind of when Burning Man gets a little bit more dirty and you're going to find a little bit more trash and you're going to have to pick up other people's trash a little bit more. But just do it, because the cleaner that we keep it, that just means that we get to keep Burning Man going, and that's what's important. Playa first, have fun, safety third. Just remember. I mentioned glitter quite a few times. It's a bummer, but what else can't we have? No feathers. No feathers! Feathers fly off, they break off, they're not great. Look at your costumes and think, what are they made of? If there's a lot of things tattering and hanging, go stitch over them. It can look tattered and hanging. Just make sure those strings aren't falling off. If you want to look like Wasteland Weekend, that's completely fine. Just sew it over so it has structural integrity. That way that can last, and you're not going to worry about things falling apart on you. Pot's illegal, my friends. No marijuana. You can't be smoking it. If you're caught smoking marijuana on that federal land, you are going to go to jail. They're going to fine you. You're going to be taken off of playa. You're going to have to do a whole mess. And I've heard that sometimes they drive you off. They fine you a giant fine, and then they just leave you kind of there. And it's up to you to figure out how you're going to get back to your stuff. It's not somewhere you want to be. So just make sure that if you're doing anything, that you're keeping it on the DL. And I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that all things like that should be not happening. But damn it, if it was a life or death situation, just make sure you're hiding really well, okay? Because they're going to come for you. Breaks my heart. So you are free to do as you wish, but the law is still really real. There are cops out there. They are driving around. They are walking around. Some of them are incognito. Some of them are naked, running around with you, drinking with you, partying with you. There was a story that is online. This guy spent the whole night at the burn. This beautiful girl was naked dancing on top of a structure. He takes her back home. They have adult pleasure time. In the morning, he rolls himself something. The second the lighter touches that, boom, she arrests him. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They just did adult time together. She still arrested him. Don't take people for granted. Don't trust people outside of your camp. I'm not saying don't trust them overall, but if you're doing something that you shouldn't be that's illegal, keep it to yourself. Don't let anybody know. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying don't do that. Fucking survival of the fittest, motherfucker. The kindness and the charity out there is very real. I will say that you can find community and single-use friends all over the place, but the loneliness can also be very real too. My first year, I was surrounded by friends. I had my husband with me. It felt like it was really great. And then we met all kinds of other friends, and it just felt like we all knew each other forever. The second year, even though some of those people were there, my close friends weren't there, my husband wasn't there, and I found myself incredibly lonely many times. And I'm somebody who seeks being alone quite often, but there's a difference between feeling alone and seeking being alone and being isolated, kind of against your will. Now, could I have participated in more? Yes, I probably could have. It didn't help that I got extremely hurt the first day we were able to actually go out, so that limited me quite a bit, and it did dampen my mood. However, I will say that there are going to be emotions that you're going to have to deal with when you're out there. Some of them are going to be really deep internal emotions that you don't even know are going to foster until you're in that situation, because you are trauma bonding to a point. This is survival to a point. The first days that I got there this last year, I was stuck in traffic, out in the mud, in line for 21 hours. I didn't have any food in my car. We had eaten everything that we had, so you're going to definitely want to bring extra food on your way in. You might have your whole trunk full of food. When you go to get in line, before you get to that road that takes you to Black Rock City, you're going to want to go through a drive-thru. Get extra food. Get an extra drink, because you don't know. You could be in that line for a day, 2 days, 3 days. I am not joking. Is there porta potties? Yes, you could do that. But you might be stranded a little bit. So it's trauma. Then I get inside, and it had hurricane gale force winds and rain the whole time, so our camps were not built. So I mean, there was I saw the metal poles through some wood. We were having to rebend stuff and restructure stuff, and then everybody's working together to build this thing. And then when the rain came, when we were almost done, now we're all trying to bail the water and get it out of the area. Okay, you were gonna trauma bond some way. So just realize, is it a vacation? Yes, but if you want a easy vacation, don't go to the burn. Everybody is encouraged to speak their mind and be themselves and be their true selves. But I will say this, there is no intolerance for anything. So if you are intolerant of anything, any person, any lifestyle, any way of being, you're going to want to keep that to yourself. The second you voice your opinion on not liking, not wanting, yucking something that somebody else has yum, people are going to jump down your throat like that's where they live, okay? You're going to have to put up with or shut up with, okay? And that's just how it is. Hopefully what will happen is you'll realize that your ideas aren't solid, and that, your reasons for your hate or your dislike or your distrust or whatever it may be are invalid, and you get over them. Hopefully. But if you're somebody who's very stuck in their ways, any of the negative things towards other people are going to put you in your place. It's not tolerated there. You are supposed to tolerate everybody. I don't care if it's opposing views, opposing religions, opposing anything. You better get over it, or shut the fuck up, because people are going to put you in your place if not. And maybe that's a lesson you need. So you know what? Maybe. Some people will never learn unless they get smacked around a little, and I'm not saying that you will, but verbally, emotionally, you're going to get a little smackdown, because it's just not put up with. Like, it's not put up with. You're going to love and tolerate everybody, or walk the fuck away from them. Those are your options. It is radical inclusion, so just go do it. Don't be worried about what people think for you. Don't think, oh my god, what do I look like when I'm doing this? Just go do the damn thing. Go eat the thing. Go try the thing. Go involve yourself. You're going to be happy you did. There are food and gifts everywhere. Oh my god. I remember having Playa pizza. I was like literally thinking, man, if I could have a piece of pizza, that would be the best thing ever. And I walked about one more block up, and the guy's like, pizza! You want some fresh pizza? It's right there. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I had the best slice. It was only a little slice, but man, it was the most delicious thing. And I walked a little further, and somebody gave me this hot dog that had cream cheese and sauteed onions. I don't even eat hot dogs anymore, because pork makes me extremely nauseous, and I don't want to be like, what's in your hot dog? I ate the shit out of that. I don't even remember if I got sick. It was a phenomenal hot dog. I was gifted matcha. I was gifted a waffle that was shaped like a Peter. Well, it was delicious. It was so good. So you're going to get gifted food. Even if you're not at a camp that has a kitchen, eventually you're going to run into Playa food. And that's one of the secret little magical things out there. Drinks are everywhere. Drinks are absolutely everywhere. You're going to want to bring a small cup with a lid with you, because if you have a big, tall cup, if you have something this size, they're going to fill it up. And you might not want to drink a million cups of whatever liquor they're giving you. A lot of times, most camps, they don't do beer. Most camps do a liquor, or like a Gatorade vodka something blend, or a cranberry blend something, or a whiskey something. Lots of whiskey, lots of hard alcohol. The camp I stay with, they actually have beer. They've got beer on tap. It's cold. Freaking phenomenal. I absolutely love it. That's where I prefer to stay, because I can drink beer all day, and it's like, you know, and it's really good artisan beer. But even so, I don't want a cup this big. I rather drink a bunch of smaller cups than have a giant cup go, and then you're trying to drink it and it's gotten warm, because you have to bring in and bring out every single thing. So if you don't like it, there's no place to pour it. I mean, I guess you could walk it to a porta potty, but there's not like a bucket or anything, unless you brought your own, to pour drinks that you're not going to want into. So if you're going to have your little cup, make sure you have a cup that's small enough that you can have some, but not that you have to dedicate yourself to drinking the entire cup. Are you into adventure and secrets? There are so many secrets to find, so many things to climb, so many little nooks and crannies where if you go and you look and you crawl into a piece of art, yes, into a piece of art, you might find a sticker or a hat pin or some other little treasure that you get to keep. Some of these structures are built just to burn. So once they're gone, and you can find out which structures are and which structures are not. It's amazing though. I went into a sunken ship that was near a beautiful dragon. That dragon lit up. I see it all over the internet now. I don't know where it travels, but it goes all over. I found the coolest little hat pin and the coolest little stickers while I was in there, and I gave some to everybody, and it was just fun. I've been given treasure, little tiny fish, little cute stuff, lots of stickers, buttons. It's just fun. It's fun to find stuff, it's fun to explore, and it's fun to be the guy who you're crawling through something, you don't know where it's going to lead, and you find that treasure. It's a really neat feeling. FOMO is real. You're going to have fear of missing out because the place is too huge. It's literally too huge for you to ever see the entire thing. Just know that. So if you plan a couple things, that's fine. But I kind of go not really caring where I'm going to go. I might glance at the book. But if I try to plan too hard, I'm going to be like, oh, I missed it. You know, versus if I just kind of explore, I find whatever I find, and it's been very fun. Bring a snack in your pack. You're not just going to want your bottled water or your Camel pack. You're going to want to have snacks, because it takes 6 hours if you were to take your bike and go on the outside of the ring from one end of the camps to the other end. That's a 6-hour bike drive. What if you get tired? What if you get hungry? Yeah, you can find stuff along the way, but radical self-reliance. So bring some goldfish with you. Bring a little cup of fruit or a Capri Sun or something extra. Give yourself a snack, little something to nib, because eventually you're going to be like, gosh, I am starving, and you don't want to be relying on the fact that a camp nearby is cooking. Take home more than you brought. Bring extra trash bags. Don't be afraid to help clean up. Don't be afraid to help lighten the load and to help tear down. If you can stay and help a camp tear down, they're going to appreciate it so much, because people are happy to show up and party early and help build it, but people don't really want to stay to tear it down. So if you can stay to tear it down, that's a good way to make friends. I've had people gift me times and trips to the burn before. If you're somebody who is a hard worker, you provide something to the burn, people are going to be a lot more likely to want to help you get there the next time, because you're not just there sucking down the amenities, you're helping provide them. I spoke on this earlier, but really, leave your cell phones at camp. If you really got to have your cell phone, do a dedicated time and then put it away. Put it the fuck away. You don't want to look at it. It doesn't want to look at you. Give yourself the break. You're going to be happy you did. Truly be prepared for any weather. You need to be prepared if it's going to rain, snow, be extremely hot. You don't know, and it can change literally in an instant. You're going to want to have really cold clothes for nighttime, and for if you have a really stormy day, you're going to want to have extra clothes, and you're going to want to package those in plastic bags and keep them sealed up, because if it were to have a dust storm, a rainstorm, a flood, whatever, then your clothes are protected, and you might have, those ones are screwed, but these ones are sealed in a bag. You're also going to want to have a pack of clothes in your vehicle, covered in plastic, ready to go for your trip home. Right before you leave, you go change into those clothes, then you drive home. Because trust me, you're not going to want to be covered in playa the whole way home. It might take several hours to get off playa. So do you want to be sitting in your car, dusting it up, breathing the playa while you've been breathing it for a week? I don't think so. Be prepared to just fall into the sand. When you're driving your bike across playa, you're going to come across a little bank of dirt, and you're going to skid out and you're going to fall, okay? It happened to me probably 10 times my first night. I have a trike this year, please God help, but I mean literally, you're going to want to have fat tires on your bike, because you're going to be going through that sand, that silt, that like really soft, fluffy, okay? Just realize you're going to lay that thing down at least once. If you have a mono wheel or anything like that, you're going to lay it down at least once. Just be prepared. And because of that, you're going to want to have some sort of a first aid kit. I did not bring a first aid kit with me last year, and the year before, my friend, she's like, I've got it all, don't worry. So I didn't worry, and I didn't need it. Last year, I got tossed from my bike 9 feet. My entire stomach ended up black. I hurt my hand, I hurt my ankle, I hurt my knee. I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. I had nothing for me. Did people take care of me? Yeah, they did. They took care of me. But you shouldn't have to rely on other people. Radical self-reliance is number one, okay? You take care of yourself. Can other people take care of you? Will they? Yes, they will. But you need to not rely on that. If the more you can take care of yourself, or the more you have your own supplies to take care of yourself, maybe they help you bandage up or whatever, but the more you have for yourself, the better. That being said, there is a full hospital there. They have an x-ray machine and everything from what I hear, and they can airlift you out. So if something happened and it was really too bad, they would be able to help you, and you can get the help that you need. Just, once again, you know, be aware that you may get hurt. I have a pin on my hat that says, keep Burning Man potentially fatal, because I earned that. Be prepared to dream of being in the dust long after you leave. I don't know. I'm a very lucid dreamer, and I dream of being in the dust so often. It has taken over other dreams. Now sometimes I'll be in a new dreamscape or an old dreamscape that I've dreamt of so many times, and the dust will be there. I don't know what this is. This is like a Silent Hill movie trick? I don't really know, but I know that I dream of being in the dust all the time. I dream of being at the burn all the time. Not in situations that I had been in, but in brand new ones that I have never been in. Like, I had a dream the other day that I was on a triple-decker bus, and I was driving it from the 3rd story, and I was looking down trying to see all the little ant people as I'm steering, and I think somebody else was pressing the pedals. I don't really know, but I just know that I'm trying to drive, and I'm looking down there trying not to run over people, and I'm in the dust, and I can hear the music, and I can see the lights. So just realize it's going to encompass your thoughts after you go the first time. Returning to the default world can be extremely difficult. You just had a week of freedom. You had a week of, if you had to adjust something, you could just adjust it, and nobody's looking at you. If you wanted to walk naked from your tent to the bathroom and back, nobody's looking at you, nobody's judging you. If you want to do fire spitting, or silk dancing, or shibari, or any debaucherous activity, or any scientific activity, or any industrial activity, or anything, there was somebody there cheering you on, no matter what it was. And now you're in the default world where people don't care, where people look at you like this if you have a little bit of, you know, self-worth, or if you have a little bit of class, or you dress up, or you look a certain kind of way, or you have radical self-expression, or any of the principles that make Burning Man wonderful. People kind of look down on them in the default world. They're not too sure. They're like, that's a little out there. I'm not sure that I like that. So returning can be kind of difficult. People can go through like drops and sadness because they realize that that's not their everyday anymore. They don't just have this magical wonderland to play in. If that's something that you're concerned about, just, you know, really take care of your mental health, look into having the right kind of vitamins, eat some good food, and try to plan little outings. You know, they're not going to be the same as the burn, but do little outings. Go see nature, go do something to kind of let yourself know that it's going to be okay. The first thing they say when you come through is welcome home. And I'm trying not to tear up. You will find family and friends out there that you didn't know that you needed. You will find people that relate to you in a way that nobody in the default world does. So that's why everybody goes back every year, because you finally found your place to be. So if you've been looking for your home, you've been feeling like an outsider, maybe the burn is for you. Bring something for the temple. Bring something for the temple. So the temple happens the night after the man burns, and the temple is a very sacred place. You can leave something from a dead loved one. You can leave something that's holding you back. This year I will be burning a dress there that I had made for a woman who was super nasty to me right after I made it, and then refused to get it, and it was like a whole gross thing, and she told me she was going to curse the dress and the whole 9 yards. I'm leaving that dress there. I'm closing the chapter, you know, and it feels really good to know that I can do that I have a place to release it. It didn't feel right to throw it away. Didn't feel right to give it to Salvation Army. I knew that she had put that dark energy on it, but burning it feels right. It feels like the right thing to do. I have put stuff in there for my father. I have put stuff in there for friends. So if you need to have that release, or maybe you weren't able to attend a memorial or a funeral to somebody that you really dearly just, you know, you just love them, leaving a little memorial there for them, leaving their picture there, leaving some of their items there, and knowing that when they burn, they go with them. It's a cathartic. It makes them feel good. It makes it better. So you've gone to the burn, you had an amazing time, now you are counting down the days so you get to go be in the dust again. You found your identity. Welcome home. If you're planning on going to Burning Man this year, leave a comment below. If you've been in the past, let me know. How did I do? Is that good advice for first timers? And if you're planning on going in the future, please drop a comment. Let me know. Was this helpful? Is this something that you guys like to see? And if so, I will do more things like this for other festivals. Love you guys. Bye.